On the Lone Star side of the Louisiana state line,
If I break even, I'm happy.
this group of gals gathers in the Denny's parking lot on I-10.
Stay a few hours and come home. Honey, I'm home.
Ready to spend some of their retirement money.
We have a lady in the car that just loves, she'd rather gamble than eat.
They're among the hundreds from Houston who cram into cars,
And then we're going to eat and gamble and win.
board buses, and head on down the highway every day to Lake Charles, Louisiana, where casinos are close and legal. The town already has two, and with their success, another is on the way. A report by the Louisiana Gaming Control Board says most of the area's customers originate from the Houston area and would be hurt by legalized gambling in Texas.
We need it here in Louisiana. And you're going to take our school supply money if you do it in Texas.
Here, casinos are part of the culture
Y'all like coming over here?
and one of the state's biggest moneymakers.
Bring in a lot of revenue, jobs, good for the economy.
It's all part of the $1.5 billion the Texas Gaming Association says Texas is losing each year by not having gambling. The state of Louisiana uses the money it earns for things like highway improvements, teacher salaries, even gambling addiction treatment. Money well spent on a hotline and treatment centers, as people here say they've seen plenty of problem gambling.
Very few of them, I think, have the resolve to stop when they should stop.
If you're stupid enough to waste all your money at the casino, that's your problem.
Another concern, some say casinos can bring crime.
We've responded, just the Lake Charles Police Department, to 10,000 calls since 2000. That's about 2 calls, maybe 2.5 calls per day.
And that's on these properties alone, crime that would not exist without the casinos.
Those calls can range from anywhere from littering to suicide or homicides.
But talk to the Lake Charles locals, and most say the benefits outweigh the bad. Something these Texans want to try, having casinos here.
I think people would go more often. It would help us. We need it.
It was the second worst mass shooting in U.S. history, and it helped fuel the nation's gun control debate. What happened at Sandy Hook Elementary School has a tie to Texas.
And it could mean some big business for the state. Business that's already huge here. We now have about 150 gun manufacturers, everything from one-man operations to larger companies. Tonight, political reporter Josh Hinkle travels to the scene of that tragedy, finding out how it could affect the economy down here.
If time heals all wounds, it's taking a long while in West Connecticut. Five months have done little to wash away the hurt. And the loss in the village of Sandy Hook. Safe to say, business is not back to normal.
We're running a special for $5 and a haircut.
A bargain might be the only way for some shops to get by. Nancy Richards still feels the tragedy in her sales.
That after the shooting, it just died down. And nobody was walking around, there was no laughter, there's no, nobody even wanting to come down here.
To face the facts, the names of 20 children and 6 others shot dead in December at their elementary school just down the road.
Because I drive by the site every day.
In a place so peaceful, the massacre breaks the silence here daily.
And I have 3 daughters who all went through that school.
And makes its way to the front of the gun control fight nationwide.
It was really hard to figure out what normal looked like or what it was going to feel like.
In the aftermath, Connecticut passed some of the strictest firearms laws in the country, limiting some guns and banning others.
Welcome to Texas, ladies and gentlemen.
Texas Governor Rick Perry says he saw those restrictions as an opportunity.
A state that has a legislature that cares more about being politically correct than they do about economic development will pay a price in the environment that we live in today.
I'm from Texas. I think it's a fantastic idea. Sooner the better, the faster, great.
After the shooting and the growing debate, Perry sent around 30 letters to firearms companies in states facing similar measures. He writes, responding to unwarranted government intrusion into your business, you may choose to consider relocating your manufacturing operations to a state that is more business friendly. His hook? Low taxes, a fair legal system, and financial incentives.
But the fact is, we have been doing economic development outreach. You can bet the state of Texas is going to reach out to you and say, hey, you want to come to a place where you can be freer?
On first brush, that sounds despicable.
On second glance, maybe understandable, even to the people of Sandy Hook.
What do I think about that? I think that's Rick Perry being Rick Perry.
No stranger to the Second Amendment, he's the NRA darling who shot a coyote on his morning jog, who gathers gun makers for a quick pick on Twitter, who wears the come and take it mentality as a badge.
We want to invite you. If you're not already here, you consider coming to the place that still loves freedom.
Perry's approach is not unlike Nancy Richards.
Any new businesses, I think, is a good thing, no matter what happens.
He's doing what he can to attract companies. She's doing the same thing for customers.
So it's been working out so far.
Perry and a handful of other lawmakers are seeing success in their efforts to attract gun makers to Texas. Colt Competition is relocating from Connecticut. We went to the opening of Shield Tactical last week in Shiner, and a company called Tracking Point will open in Pflugerville this fall.
I mean, you have to be a rugged individualist to love this place.
The Texas Panhandle, fields full of cattle and cotton, wind power for miles, and an ocean of oil. Compared to the rest of the state, it's like a different world. And on its northern edge, in the small town of Dumas,
I was in the grain business. I bought and sold grain.
Lives a man who came close to securing that distinction.
It was like we were at war. I mean, everything that was happening was against us.
For 20 years, David Swinford represented this sparse area in the Texas House.
I had 56 school districts.
As a freshman in 1991, he made a bold move that began after unfolding the state's official roadmap and realizing the Panhandle was detached.
It was proof that they didn't like us because they didn't even put us on the map, and that sort of ticks me off.
Add that to school concerns, redistricting dangers, and the threat of tax increases.
And my motto was the new Texas has too many new taxes for me.
Swinford had the ammunition he needed for a bill to secede from the state.
My area's had it. My people are madder than an old red hen, and it's time to do something.
The bill would have essentially split the Texas map. It got a lot of attention, but never made it out of committee. It would have meant 26 counties, their own state, with a capital in Amarillo. Swinford's idea stemmed from something beyond just the Panhandle, though. History shows when Texas became part of the nation in the 1840s, you could actually carve out as many as 5 states. And like Swinford, a lot of people have tried to do something like this over the years. It was a stretch, but after the Civil War, when Texas drew up its constitution, some citizens also drew up one for the state of West Texas.
That's the only time when it's been seriously debated before the legislature that I know of.
Obviously, it failed, just like a string of other proposals in the decades to follow.
Just keep it all Texas.
But state historians say success might be bittersweet.
I like Texas the way it is. I wouldn't want to change that.
It could be costly to set up a new government.
Well, maybe it might be a good idea to get rid of them. I don't know.
The Panhandle, for instance, would probably get only 1 seat in the U.S. House.
What kind of political power does that really provide you?
Getting rid of the Panhandle, though, would mean sacrificing some of the state's biggest economic benefits, a vast prison system, and the nation's only nuclear weapons plant. The idea is one scholars still debate, but something many agree will probably never happen.
If there's one thing that the past teaches us is that it's unpredictable.
Something Swinford didn't predict, the impact his proposal would make.
They changed the map, and Ann Richards gave me the first copy of the map with Old Texas back on top.
More importantly, it drew attention to the Panhandle's problems, gave locals a leader, and perhaps left a message for today's lawmakers.
And if they have to do something extreme, that's what they should do.
In Dumas, Josh Hinkle, KXAN News. On the southern edge of Maverick County, right across the Rio Grande from Mexico, is the home of the Kickapoo traditional tribe of Texas. Twice a week, its health clinic opens to serve the 1,000 patients who make up the tribe.
No vas a ver el doctor, o si quieres ver el doctor.
People like Koki Alessandro, who often can't afford treatment.
Oh, well, diabetes. Take some pills. That's why I'm here.
The tribe foots the bill with money it makes from a casino.
If we didn't have a revenue from the casino, we would be in one heck of a mess.
The Kickapoos opened Lucky Eagle Casino in the late 90s. Before that, many members lived in shacks, camping near this bridge between the U.S. and Mexico. Now, gambling revenue means new housing.
I just moved in. I don't have to pay rent. The only thing I worry about is the utility, and the tribe pays half of it.
It also pays for schooling, roads, even a sewer system.
Let's go win some money.
Plus, there are hundreds of jobs for the tribe, as visitors flock here to the state's only casino.
That's my mom. It was her idea to come out here.
I'm 92 years old, and I want to keep going.
Just take a stroll through the casino parking lot. Judging from the license plates, the majority of visitors are coming from right here in Texas. In fact, most come from within 100 miles of the casino. In the last 4 years, the number of weekly visitors has doubled to 120,000. The main reason behind the casino's expansion.
The current facility was not large enough. It's a very exciting time for both the tribe and the casino, the expansion.
The Kickapoos will open a hotel and nearly double the size of the casino this spring.
All right, again.
More money means better services for the tribe.
Nada más necesita refuse.
For Alessandro, a new clinic with extended hours.
We are having a hard time over there. Town to see a doctor. It's a lot easier for us.
We're going to be busy if we're doing good work.
At Hill Country Rifle in New Braunfels, business couldn't be better.
I'm chambering the barrel to a specific caliber.
Since 1996, a two-man operation has turned into 13. Matt Bettersworth has watched it grow from the ground up.
Every year since we started, we've beat the previous year's sales, so it's been on a good trajectory from the get-go.
1,500 rifles a year go through this place.
So this is what we call our American Classic rifle. It's our highest end product.
Custom made, old world craftsmanship.
Really beautiful grade of walnut.
Some guns, like this model, take 2 years of precision to finish up.
They have the state of Texas engraved on their grip cap.
Welcome to Texas, ladies and gentlemen.
Governor Rick Perry wants to bring more firearms companies to the state.
We want to invite you. If you're not already here, you consider coming to the place that still loves freedom.
Whether it's promoting business incentives at the recent NRA convention or sending letters to gun companies across the country.
I think competition is good. Whether you're in the weapons manufacturing or whether you're in the automobile manufacturing or whatever it might be. Competition may be uncomfortable, but it will make you better.
Right now, Bettersworth says they can't handle more work.
Thank you, Jesus.
But he doesn't want to lose any either.
As long as the quality's there, everything will take care of itself.
Competition aside, Bettersworth says there are a few benefits of bringing more companies to Texas. He says qualified gunsmiths are hard to find. This could mean a bigger pool of talent and possibly more trade programs to train future workers in the industry.